and welcome to episode 42 of an Earful podcast. This episode, we have Sushi of the one and only GhøstKid.
In this episode, we talk to him all about being a solo artist, his approach to writing the record. Self-titled record came out on Friday the 13th, just gone. Go stream it, have a listen, it rips. We also talk about, going from a band in Eskimo to writing for yourself and the changes that has from being with a band to a solo artist. It was a very fun conversation.
Yep, definitely. Don't forget to check out our socials as well. So on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then also our YouTube under an Earful podcast. Don't forget to also check out the Hardcore Project as well, which we have our good friend Alex Smith hosting. He's on his 5th episode right now. I think his last guest was the band Nasty. You might have heard of them, you might not, but still go check it out and enjoy the episode.
Thank you for joining us.
Always. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, so it's been a pretty hectic weekend for you.
It was, yeah. I mean, yeah, Friday was like a really crazy day for me. So I worked so fucking long to release that record and yeah, finally did it. So I'm pretty happy how everything turned out. Yeah.
Congratulations, man. It's honestly, it rips the album. It pretty much goes like max 100%. It's like as soon as you turn it on, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Pretty
it
intense.
Was like, thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. I mean, yeah, this was like the full track, which is the first one, this was like, it was written like when I got this imagination in my head, okay, that could be cool, like to enter the stage with that song, and this is like, I wrote it, with the feeling, okay, that would be sick to go live on stage with that track, So that's the reason why it's the opening track for the album as well.
Was everything thought out like that? So as much detail of me walking out on stage?
I mean, I'm somebody who always visualize a lot while writing music, So when I got an idea in my head, so basically everything starts usually with vocals, So I would say like the whole record was based on vocals, for example, like a chorus. And so with each song, I visualize a lot and I got a little movie in my head. So this is how everything comes together usually. So I guess I don't visualize like every song, how it could be on stage, but kinda, I would say.
I think it's always sort of fun when you start off with a concept more than anything, where you have this image, and then it's more the process of trying to replicate that and push out your imagination for everyone else to hear. It's always like an interesting concept where it could be something dark or it could be something lighthearted. I think it's just a cool concept just to work off the imagination instead, to have a concept, an idea, rather than it being like a spontaneous thing that you've built up this piece of work essentially. I think that it's a very, you tend to find like more unique concepts more than anything, rather than it being just a track record, there's a demo. I think it makes it more intricate when it's more a concept.
Oh damn, I get a call right now, fuck it. So damn it, no, I lost the point. I think, what is funny about that? Like, when I started looking up for a label, so this is what I did. So with my friend Mirko, who is doing all the music videos, I said, hey, I really want to show the label what GhøstKid is all about, So I shot 8 music videos on one day, like with no budget, just to show the label how it could look like, So,
crazy.
And it was like, okay, this is GhøstKid. So that's the press picture. That's the logo. These are the fangs. And here you got like 8 tracks with a music video. So it was like 15 minutes, so probably just that you got some visuals for the music, because I really think if you got some strong visuals to a track, it definitely gives the music a little push. And yeah, I think a lot about like the visual aspects as well, because I think that really goes hand in hand. And yeah, I would say this is how everything came together in the beginning.
So how long?
Speaking of, like,
Go on.
Bob,
Go on. I was going to say, how long did it take for 8 music videos? 8. That's insane. I'm knackered after 1. I'm like, right, I'm done.
Yeah,
We're in bed. Time.
I mean, it was like pretty,
Oh,
Ooh.
sorry.
and
Sorry,
okay, probably on
we
on
lost
2
audio
days.
there. Sorry,
You lost the audio.
Yeah, it just cut out. Then what were you saying? Sorry to interrupt.
I just said it doesn't it doesn't took. I mean, it was not that long. So we shot all the music videos on one day, you know, and probably like 2 days. So on the other day we just were filming something like in the morning because we couldn't do it like the whole fucking night. So we tried to wake up early, you know. So probably it was like 1 day and 5 hours probably, and then we started with the editing, you know, and yeah, we were pretty quick, I would say.
I was going to say the Supernova music video, from what I saw, is pretty intense. Like, I think that for
Thank
me is one of
you.
the standout tracks from like the album. But yeah, you get that really gritty, dark feel, obviously, that he was after with the album. And to me, it felt like I was watching a Rammstein music video. So to say you kind of put that together really quick, that's insane.
Oh, thank you.
Is awesome. What was the meaning behind that song as well?
In general, I would say like the song is like dealing with probably like humanity's ignorance, you know, because there's so much bullshit going on right now, and you definitely can see that the world right now is like in a really weird state,
Yeah.
you know, because I mean, you can see that like in Australia a little while ago, there's that like those burning bushes, you know, like the same in California. That is a thing, you know, like everything that's going on like with the election right now, it's fucking crazy. We have corona, you know, and for me it really feels like that people don't think in general about consequences, you know. They just basically just think about themselves. They just think about a problem if they personally feel confronted with something, you know. But I always used to say that everybody's just feeling too comfortable to just think a bit outside of the box to change things, you know. And this is what Supernova is about like the last day on Earth, where like basically the world is, how can I say that, try to get rid of humanity, you know. I would say it's like that. It's more like the world's reckoning. This is what I'm saying, the lyrics as well, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of what we deserve. Like, we're kind of ignorant to everything that's going on around us in a way. Like,
yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's true. Yeah.
I mean, this is what the song is about, because, you know, if there won't change anything, so we will have like really big problems in the upcoming future, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, this is what the song is about. Probably like how could future looks like, you know.
Yeah.
I always find it crazy where we get something like documentaries, articles, all different stuff, like saying, if we do not change, this will happen, this is the inevitable. But yeah, everyone goes, I'll just carry on as normal, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just it's an head boggle. It's honestly drives me insane.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand that in some kind. I can understand that a bit, you know, because so well, I was back in Eskimo, you know, so we played a show in the Ukraine where it was like this big civil war going on, you know, and this was like the thing. If you see something on TV and you don't, I mean, you see crazy things, cruel stuff on TV fucking every day, you know, but if you're really confronted with that by seeing it like in real life, you know, that's a complete different thing. So when there was like this civil war going on, you know, that was so shocking. So, and I don't know, I mean, right now there's a lot of stuff happening, and I mean, of course, if you just see it on TV or on the internet, you got kind of like a distance to those things, but they're definitely happening right now. And I think there is a lot of stuff going on right now.
There's a lot of stuff, and we don't hear about it as much as well in the news as we probably should. like especially now with like COVID just taking the headlines with everything. So yeah, no, I
Yeah,
get you,
yeah.
man.
I mean,
But
there is a lot of stuff going on in Belarus as well. So at the moment, and I don't read something in the media at all about that, you know. And yeah, as you said, like everybody's focused on COVID right now.
at least Donald Trump's out of office anyway. So I mean, we're kind of got a step further in the right direction.
Yeah,
Positivity up a slight bit.
yeah.
Speaking of Eskimo, was there a sort of like a triggering moment where you realized this is what you want Ghost Kid to be and where you want to take it? What was there a moment, or was it building up over time?
Um, I would say I got the idea in my head to go solo for a long time, you know, just to do music on my own again. But I never really focused on creating something. So, but there was like a certain point. It was after we released Rehab, you know, the last record that we put out. For me, I realized, okay, this is basically not my cup of tea anymore, you know. So I wanted to do something different, and I couldn't identify myself with the music we were doing anymore. So I really realized that I need to change something. I mean, but that was like a process, because I mean, Eskimo was my job as well, you know. So that this is what generates my income, you know. And but it doesn't make me happy anymore. So I had to decide. And I mean, it was like a process, because we went pretty good. Like in Germany, we were kind of like a big band. I always feel ashamed that I say something like that, but you know, um, it kind of was like that. And of course you think about that, okay, what if I start something new? So how will the people react? Like when you start something, will everybody follow you, or will you start at point zero? So what about my income and stuff like that? But in the end, I just thought about that, okay, what was the reason why I started doing music? And it was like that I wanted to have a home, you know, and that was not my home anymore. So, and that was like clear, okay, good, I need to go solo. And I started writing the first songs, and I really discovered, okay, this is something that makes me really happy. The feeling is back that I missed for such a long time. So that's the right decision to do it, because I just wanted to focus on something 100% that I really love and can identify with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, especially outside of music, don't realize that it is a business. If you can pay your bills with making music, say you are a big band, if you can do that, because
Yeah.
it's rare. But then to judge your happiness over, it's important. I'm happy we've done it because I love the album.
I mean, I always used to say, you know, if you're passionate about something, it doesn't matter if it's just music. If you're passionate about something, and you work different, you know. So if you're focused on your passion and not the money you have to earn, you will get money one day anyway. Because if you got a lot of passion and put a lot of emotion in that, you know, you will automatically create something special. And I think that definitely is something that people can feel out there, which leads you to success in the end, probably, you know.
I think people forget where it's like with any job. I think it has to be somewhat good for the soul, or else with anything, it just in the end just dries you out. You just burn out in the end because it's not just something that fulfills you.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if it's just because of money, you want to earn money, you can do fucking every job, you know. So, but if it's more about passion, and it's about like, how can I say that? Create something that is your thing, you know, that's something
Yeah.
completely different. Because if you create something that's your thing, you work your fucking ass off. It doesn't matter if you will earn money in the first place, or, I mean, you will do everything for that it turns out well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the big difference. And yeah, as you said it, I mean, like nowadays, everybody's just focusing on what is your social value in general, you know. And of course, yeah, people have, yeah, one day probably you will have a burnout or something.
I think that's why you see a music that's so big in visuals, because people now consume music differently to how they used to. And
Yeah.
people listen to an album and go, okay, I've listened to it. And some don't, but a lot of fans will just listen to it and go, I've done my part, kind of thing.
Mm.
And I think that's why the visuals become such a big part of a record.
I think as well, music in general is like really oversaturated due to streaming. I mean, on the one hand, it's like a really good thing because small bands got the chance to reach a big audience. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, you got a lot of great bands and you have to do something different. And I think there is more about an artist people could identify with besides the music. For me, it's always like if you do a great job when it comes down to all the aspects. It's like you tell a story. If you're an artist, you have to tell a story
Yeah.
if you want to
Yeah.
reach out for other people. And I guess that's the point why visuals are really important, or probably was that it was important all the time.
So, what was it like collabing on this album? Because I know you had the likes of Marcus Bischoff and you had Johnny Three Tears as well of Hollywood Undead. Because I know you've worked with a previous member of Hollywood Undead as well in your last band, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when he left Hollywood Undead, but it's probably like a long time ago.
That was like around 2010 or something. It must have been like 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. So probably it was a bit earlier, but yeah, I mean, it was amazing because I always love to have cool features, that are kind of unexpected on those tracks, and yeah, I mean, like with most of the features, everything came together like over a personal contact, so it was like more like we're calling each other and say, okay, how could we make this happen, and it was like pretty chill. I mean, especially like with Johnny, it was pretty cool. So I just hit him up, asked, hey, do you want to be on that song? Could you imagine to perform a part on that? Because I think you really can tell your story about the topic the song is about. And yeah, this is how it came together, I guess.
Yeah, man.
You're seeing a lot more collaborations now with in like, the genre, the scene, which used to be like so scarce. I really like seeing the same song with multiple collaborations, which was different and kind of stood out to me, which I really liked.
Yeah, I mean, he got a really special voice, and he's a great artist and a great singer, so I really love what he did. And yeah, I mean, he's like always killing it on multiple tracks, so yeah, I'm pretty proud to have him on the record.
Talking about processes then, let's just go right back to the beginning then. So when did the actual concept for this album start? When was the beginning of the writing, going into the studio and then going from there?
I guess everything started like with the song You and I, because this was like a track that I originally wrote for another band. So the band split up, so I fucking loved that track, so I took it with me. And so I kept it like for over 3 years or something. And when I realized, okay, I need to do something, this is the first track I started with. And for me, I instantly got the feeling that it is kind of like a relief for me to write music. And then it just felt like I wrote this fucking record, like it just writes by its own. You know what I mean? And so then I hit up like Phil, this guy from Berlin who's doing usually like pop music, because for me it's really interesting if you just involve somebody who usually is doing an absolute different kind of music, just to see how he would work with something like that. And yeah, this is where everything came together, like when it comes down to the pre-production. Even if I wrote with, for example, Chris from N is Okay, I wrote 2 tracks with him because I always wanted to do that. And in Berlin, we finished the pre-production, shaped the sound a bit, just made it a bit better to show it to the label. And after everything was finished, I hit up the studio, my good friend Sky, and yeah, we started re-recording everything. I would say that was basically the process. So we started recording, I don't know when it was, like Feb, March, probably March this year.
Right. Okay. And in terms of recording time, then what you finished that? Sorry, you started then. Because I'm tired. So you started then. So when was the actual ending of the recording then?
Probably April, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess it was April. I should check up I should check the bills. I don't know. But yeah, maybe it was like April, or I don't know when I really started a fire. Let me see.
Well, actually, doing that then, I always think it's a cool vibe when you have a project where there's so much time put into it, where you can just sit, take it in, look at the bigger picture, rather than it being like, okay, we've got 8 hours to complete a whole song. I always find it's more of an enjoyable experience.
It's August.
Really?
It's August.
Wow.
I released Starfied in August. Damn. It's not that far away. But okay. No, I don't know when we finished the record. Probably it was April, but of course you need to prepare everything, you know, and yeah. Or maybe May, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
It was a bit of time then. So yeah, overall it was quite not an entirely lengthy process, but you had a good amount of time to kind of let it settle, look at everything, and then go from there with it, which is
exactly, yeah.
It's probably the best experience, I think, in terms of recording from personal experience anyway. I always find it more enjoyable when you can, like, we've got it where we've stayed over somewhere for a couple of days, everyone's chilled as a band, then you go as a band, and then you kind of go from it there rather than it being in 1 day project, and that's it.
I mean, you mean like compared to a regular band, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this time it was the complete opposite of a chill process, I can say, because if you write everything on your own, you know, you are so passionate about it, and you always fucking overthink everything, you know. It is never good enough for you. It's you always want to do it perfect, you know. In a band, it's like, okay, you lay down, for example, a vocal track, you know, and you got those 4 guys sitting on the couch behind you, you know, drinking beer and say, oh, that was sick, you know. And like this time it was like, okay, laying down a vocal track, and then Sky said, okay, it's good, we can move on with the second verse. Oh, could you please give me 30 more takes, please? I can do it better, I can feel it now, you know. And it really was like that. So I mean, on the one hand, it was like really cool because I was the only one to satisfy, you know. But on the other hand, it was like a fucking roller coaster, you know, because you want to do it better, and you always felt so shitty when it doesn't work. And there was a really funny story, I guess I haven't told anybody, but when we started tracking vocals, it was like, I'm usually that guy, I have to scream before I do the screams. I mean, 1 day before, you know, fuck up my voice. Okay, I'm not able to speak. Next day it works, you know. And I was like, okay, I'll go to the studio and nail it. So we'll make it like the real rock star deal. So I will get drunk, you know, killed fucking half a bottle of absinthe, you know.
Oh man.
I went to the vocal booth and totally fucked it up. Absolutely. It was so shitty, you know. And I was like, okay. I was so sad about that day, you know. And but yeah, and he said, now you realize that you don't need to be drunk to do a great job, right? So but yeah, it was really like that. You want to do it really good, and you totally start to overthink, and basically it's just, hey man, just do your job, you know.
Yeah, and that's the curse of being an artist. You're always going to have to suffer from demoitis, where you just keep going and going. There's never an end. So you just kind of have to go, okay, you can leave it alone now. You can close that session, walk away from it.
Yeah. Walk away. Just let it sit for 3 weeks, and then give it a listen one more time, because everything was like scheduled so short. You know, I got those evenings where I had to go in my car, you know, and just because this is usually the stuff where I check all the tracks and the mix, I was driving around and it was like, oh my God, that sound is so shitty. Okay, let's try to listen to something else, you know? What is my favorite mix? Okay, it's Bring Me the Horizon, Happy Song. Turn it on. Oh my God, that sounds even worse. You know, so I got definitely like those evenings where I realized, okay, I can't enjoy music right now, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a really fucking roller coaster, but I guess it was worth it. So the next day I turned it on and said, dude, that's great. We can go with that.
I think that's always the test, isn't it? When you record something, you go, let's go to the car. And then you go straight to the car, you plug it in, and then
No,
you go.
it really was like that. Sometimes I was already sleeping, you know, and then my phone was ringing. Okay, he did the master. So go to your car, listen to it right now. It was really like the mafia, you know, so they give you a call and you have to do it. Yeah. It was a really intense process overall.
Was the writing process from going from in a band to being a solo artist and previously writing specifically for bands, your approach to writing, was that different, or did you keep that the same and then ask?
I did something really different because usually when you're playing a band, you know, like the guy who's doing the production is laying down the track, you know, like instrumentals, and then as a vocalist you are fucked because you have to find something. There's already a pitch that is set, you know. There is always a tone that is set, you know, so you have to work with the instrumental. So what I did this time was just did some little voice messages, for example, for a chorus, because I think a good chorus, for example, works without music, or if you got a parody or something like that, you know. So actually this is where how I started a fight. I was sitting in my car and was like, I want to kill something, want to destroy. Okay, good, that works. So I recorded it and just built a whole song around that, and I kept on going with that on the whole record. I guess with Hollywood it was the same. So this was with Chris from NSOK. So I visited him in the studio and we got totally fucked up after 1 hour. And I said, hey, let's write a song. Come on. Yeah, okay, let us start. And I said, okay, turn on the click. Make it a bit faster. I will go to the booth. And he said, okay, what do you want to do? I will sing a chorus now. So this was kind of like I created the whole record. So, but everything was like really subtle. And sometimes I just got an idea, but understood it like 3 weeks later, what I wanted to tell myself.
I really like that approach, because at most studios will start drums, bass, or riff, but no one starts in vocals. And like you say, there's already a pitch and tone set at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes sense, because if you got an awesome instrumental track and you can't find vocals for this one, it's not a good song. Everything in the end depends on how good the vocals are, you know, and that's the reason why not start with the vocals, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that definitely changed my mind, and this was something I did absolutely different, like I did it in playing with Eskimo, you know. I mean, but it was easy. I was the only one that have to approve. I said, hey, should we start with the vocals? Yes, we do.
So you're heading out on your first tour then next year, your Europe tour. Are you looking forward to that as well? Obviously going out again solo. Obviously you'll have your band as well with you, but like doing that for the first time, is it daunting, or are you looking forward to it, or both at the same time maybe?
I guess your audio went off for a little while, but I guess you asked if I'm excited for the tour or what?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I hope that the tour will happen, you know, because of Corona, everything's changing like from day to day.
Yeah.
So I don't know it will be possible, but yeah, I mean, basically that's the reason why you write a record to play it live, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm really excited for is now it's like a different situation, because if you have to play something that you don't feel anymore, it's just you doing the job, but to perform something that is really you is like a complete different situation, and I can't wait to experience that. I guess I haven't experienced that the last 5 years probably, and yeah, I'm excited for that. So I hope for the best that this tour is gonna, I don't know, that it's gonna be happening. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the situation is fucked up,
Yeah.
No one knows. No one knows, do they?
Oh, I can't wait to do a sound check. Even just a sound check. I'm not asked about playing a show. Just plug into a sound check. I could just leave then. I'll be fine. It'd just be on that fulfillment of purpose again.
Yeah, please just let me do a sound check.
Check.
No,
One.
Mhm. Damn, yeah. I mean, what should I say? It's a fucked up situation right now, and I just hope for the best. A lot of people are struggling with their existence, so I can't really focus on like how happy I am or how much I would love to play that stuff live, because a lot of guys here in Germany are struggling. I don't know how the situation is in your country right now, but I think it's basically the same.
It is the same, yeah.
Pretty
a lot
much.
of bands struggling.
Yeah.
A lot of people in general struggling.
Fucked with a PH.
Because of that, has it made you think about performing differently?
Yeah, I already thought about that. I mean, that's the only chance you got to play fucking live stream show. And I fucking hate that, but it's something,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it would be probably easier to watch a football game on TV. This is what we do when we got like those world championship stuff, so it's nothing that it's so different to people. But I mean, dude, how many times you turn on the TV and just watch a live show of somebody? You wanted to feel the energy of the people, you wanted to have the vibe, and this is all what music is about, and this is missing. But I mean, okay, it's still something, because some people can work, probably they will get some money, but yeah, it's definitely not the same thing. But yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, that if they're watching it through a screen, there's sort of a disconnection where they're not gonna, like you say, feel that energy, which I never really thought about until now.
No, it's really like that. I mean, you can see how the people are going to react to what you're doing, So yeah, it's definitely a different thing, because like this direct connection, So I mean, if you sing a wrong tune, you directly can see that somebody's recognizing it, So yeah, if you do a live stream, nobody will recognize. Okay, probably more people, but you can see it. It's
That's a good point. I never thought of that, because you get those people that'll want to pick at every single thing that you do, especially if they're watching it online. Because like you said, when you're in that live atmosphere, you're in that unique moment where like everything's not going to be perfect, but like that experience is for those people alone in that little sweaty room that you may be in, or like venue, and they go home and they've like, you know what I mean, that's their unique experience of watching you live. Whereas it's weird now we're in like 2020 and you're watching these live gigs where there's like the people watching from home, they're on the screens behind the artist. I don't know. I think Frank Carter did that recently, where he had all the people who were watching the live stream were on the screens behind him whilst he was performing. It's really weird, man. It's like some Black Mirror like sort of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sterile, as well. So, and like especially with rock music, it's you need the energy and you need to see how people go crazy. So this is what you definitely can create on a live stream.
Should we go on to our segments? What we usually do?
Yeah, go on.
We should apologize. We didn't pre-warn you that we do horror on our podcast as well.
All right, no problem.
I'm not sure if you're a fan, but we're going to ask you about it now anyway, because we cornered you into a...
Okay, no problem. I'll be probably the most disappointing horror judge ever.
We'll give it a whirl anyway.
Give it a try.
All right, so our first segment is a segment we call What is Your Favorite Scary Movie? Where basically you just pick your favorite scary movie, we talk about it. If you don't like horror, we talk about why you don't like horror.
My favorite scary movie, I don't know how many scary movies are out there, but I can say, I mean, they were kind of funny when I was 16 years old probably, but I don't know. Are there some new scary movies out there?
No, just in terms of like the genre altogether. So, what's your favorite horror film?
Oh, what is my favorite horror film?
Yeah.
You know, I would probably say Silent Hill. You know why? Because they really they kept it kind of original. You know, it is more like the game. And this is like a big problem, like with a lot of horror movies nowadays. I think that's the reason why I'm most of the time disappointed. You know, so for me, it's like, okay, she's going into the bathroom and looking into the mirror. Of course, she opens like this fucking little thing. How, I don't know how you call it. You know? Okay, there. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Of course, there is the face behind her back. Of course, you know. And I don't know. I can't understand like people, for example, like what was it like Insidious, for example, how people can like that movie. This fucking demon looks like Darth Maul, you know, so this ruins fucking everything. And yeah, this is how I watch horror movies. So most of the time I don't get scared, you know. I never react like to jump scares and stuff. So I like it as well a bit more subtle. So that's the reason why I like Silent Hill, because it's like really down to earth, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but probably you got a good film tip from me. What should I watch if I just want to do it like a bit more subtle and a bit more down to earth?
I get you mean with Silent Hill. It's a lot more like psychological instead of being that sort of like jump scary sort of typical like horror film. I get what you mean. I never thought about Insidious in that way either. Yeah, he does look like Darth Maul.
He does look like Darth Maul.
Yeah, that's what happened to Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I think a recommendation it's not similar to Silent Hill, but a bit more subtle is Midsummer.
Midsummer. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's an.
Did I watch it? I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'll write it down, then I don't forget about it.
Yeah.
So we usually have another segment as well in the podcast where we ask you about your pet peeves. So what's the things that piss you off the most in life? Can be anything you want. We've had all sorts.
What is pissing me off the most in life?
What pisses you off the most in life in general? Yeah, even the most petty things you can think of. What
waiting for food. I fucking hate it. You know, it's always like you're ordering something in the restaurant. You sit down there and just wait for that special moment, and it takes forever. I fucking hate it to wait for food.
Especially me, yeah. Huh? Go on, Matt.
I was saying, I get what you mean. It's like when you have the where it fucking take longer than they need to, and it's like been 40 minutes, and you're still waiting for that meal, which is meant to be after your starter. You're just like, surely it cannot take this long. They must have something prepped for this fucking meal already.
Exactly. Dude, I had the worst moment in life where I was sitting at home and I just had a few beers, you know, and of course you get hungry. And I was sitting down there and okay, good. Now I will get like to Burger King delivery, and I just delivered it per mobile, you know, and said, okay, I mean, the delivery of Burger King is fucking horrible, but they said, okay, 1.5 hours. Okay, that's all right, you know? So, and I was sitting there and okay, so it's already 4 hours. What will happen, you know? Then I gave the restaurant a call and there was nobody on the phone, and I just waited so fucking long. I don't know. Yeah, they are horrible. So I knew that before, but I thought, okay, eventually I'll get my food after 2.5 hours, but there was no food. There was no fucking food that night.
When it's so long, it gets to the point where it's not worth it. It was a spur of the moment thought because it should be here by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the start where you just look in, like just try to check out your kitchen if you find something eatable. You know?
Going through all the cupboards behind the cobwebs, trying to find that chocolate bar that may be there.
Yeah. At least it is something you can eat. It's okay.
Nah, man, it was like that when McDonald's opened for the first time after COVID shut them all down, and there was like 2 hour
Yeah.
queues to get a McDonald's. It was like, who's queuing for 2 hours for a McDonald's drive-through? But yeah, there's people.
I mean, I never realized that McDonald's is still open through COVID, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Did any places close over there where you were over COVID, or did they carry on?
I mean, the first thing that I really realized that we have a problem was that the McDrive is closing at 11 p.m. You know? So, I mean, no, just kidding. I mean, yeah, it's a really weird situation right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, overall, I really hope it gets further better, because nobody can really tell what's going on right now, you know, because
Yeah.
one day it's like that, second day it's like that, but nobody got a proper solution for something, you know.
And now we wait.
Now we wait.
That's it. Just like your food.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it up then.
Thank you for taking
Thank
some
you.
time to speak to us.
thank you.
All right.
Congrats on the
Thanks for
album,
having
once
me.
again.
Thank you so much. Was a lot of fun with you guys.
Take
All
care.
right.
Very much, dude.
Cheers.
Thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care.